The Red Dirt D&D podcast is brought to you by Pro Laser Cuts. The Oklahoma company provides pre-made and customizable design laser cut dice towers, tokens, and more, developed by a gamer for gamers, and now available to enhance your tabletop game. Pro Laser Cuts products can be found at many Oklahoma City area game stores, local events, and now available online at prolasercuts.com. That's laser and cuts with a Z, Pro Laser Cuts. And by SD Way Gaming, where dice goblins unite. Our friends at SD Way Gaming celebrate the beautiful dice players handpick for their games and splendor. SD Way Gaming has expanded to include many tabletop gaming varieties, accessories, and similar fun necessities to include a service for your dice addiction. You can shop for a variety of products at sdwaygaming.com or find SD Way Gaming on Facebook. Greetings, friends. This is Michael Cross, and before we get started, I wanted to prepare you for the new intro you're about to hear. As we are entering a new campaign for Red Dirt D&D, the cinemagician PJ Castillo created a new sound for our intro and outro music. So here, for the first time, dear listener, is the theme music for Campaign 1.5, Tales from the Ironwoods. Welcome to Red Dirt D&D. I'm Michael Cross.
Kiri Hester.
Connor Schnold.
Ash King.
Brooke Bullock.
Johnny Payne.
And Aiden Cross.
Woo! First try, guys!
I know that guy.
All right. We have a whole new cast because we have a whole new campaign coming up where we are traveling to a new area of Ritoya.
So we switched seats.
I don't even know what sounds to make. Like, normally this would be a moment I would be like, bow, bow. But it's going to be a little different.
It
now.
is
It's
gonna
gonna
be
be different. It's gonna be.
I love it so much.
Cosmos Twain.
Our wonderful the cinemagician PJ Castillo has knocked it out of the park again.
Yep.
I cannot wait for you guys to hear the new and improved Red Dirt D&D theme song for Tales from the Ironwoods.
Campaign 1.5. And our new DM or our showrunner is for the show. And I want you to come just a little bit closer to your microphone. Just
Don't
tiny
be
bit.
shy. It takes practice.
How am I straight across from Kiri?
Is Aiden Cross.
Do you want to?
Sorry, visual clue.
Switch?
No, Brooke. Aiden says Brooke has to sit right next to him. He's
I
in trouble.
don't know why. I'm a good guy. I don't know why I have to sit next to the DM.
You're in timeout.
We'll get into that later.
This side of the table's grognard heavy.
Well, as Ash and I said, the nerds. This is the cool kids on this side.
I get lumped into the cool kids.
Pause for a moment.
Uh-oh.
No.
Aiden, talk to me.
Yeah, I'll talk. What's up? What's going on, man? How you doing? Doing good?
Hangs at Hausen.
Hope you're doing really well tonight.
There we go. That got it.
I
Okay.
just need you to do your type 5.
So
start that over?
Aiden, no, it's good. So Aiden, tell a little bit about the people. So if they don't know who you are, who is Aiden Cross?
I am a person.
I'm so glad.
Human in outward appearance.
Thanks a lot, Aiden. Michael, back to you.
Well, I am the son of yourself, of Michael Cross. You know, came straight from you.
Way to be weird.
But what other Red Dirt D&D project have you worked on?
That's
Who are
true.
you
Yeah.
as a person outside of your dad?
That is true. So I do Secrets of Monster Island on the Red Dirt D&D YouTube channel. That's been a lot of fun. Glad to be here.
Yeah, you've been a dungeon master now for 4 years.
I think so.
So
math
he
works out.
does actually have a lot of experience as a dungeon master, being thrust into it with Adventurers League,
Yes.
and then creating his own world with his own campaign with Secrets of Monster Island. If you haven't checked that out, it's every Monday on the YouTube channel. And there's some links. If you watch it, there might be some links to Ritoya.
Maybe.
There you go. We're
Say,
excited
what,
about
what,
that.
What did we talk about when we were first brainstorming for that? So I get the American Southwest, and what did you get?
It was the Caribbean, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Caribbean, but also like the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah, the Bermuda Triangle. Yeah, just that whole area.
This
Yeah.
whole, the whole section down there was great. I loved it.
So we are going into campaign 1.5 is what we're calling it. It'll be a kind of a link or just an extra added bonus to give Ash a little bit of a chance to
palate
put
cleanser.
campaign 2. Yep. Where we are all playing brand new characters. And so let's go around the table. Kiri, let's start with you. What is your character?
His name is Billy. He's a possum. And specifically, he is Jaska's possum. Not Jaska. I'm so sorry. Jaska's sitting right next to me, so I was thinking about her. He is Sintra's possum. And Ash and I. That's been really great. It's been a lot of fun, like world building. The possum lore around Knowles.
The Knoll possum symbiotic relationship.
Right, so it makes sense. These gnolls are large creatures living in the desert. They're gonna have a bug problem, and who else to solve their problems but having your own personal possum? It's like a status symbol amongst the gnolls to have a grooming possum that like gets all of your ticks, and then your possum is fed, and they tend to be bred within the community. But Billy is a wild possum, and so the other possums are mean to him, and so he makes Sintra his best friend. And since Sintra is slotted to be next matron for her community, Billy also picks up the role of bodyguard because he goes everywhere. And Sintra also was like, hey, wouldn't it be so cute if I made him tiny armor and I gave him tiny sword and I teach him how to fight? So to be clear, and I've mentioned this multiple times, he is possum sized. He's not a large
Anthropomorphic.
he's not an anthropomorphic possum folk. He is just a possum. That being said, I am mechanically, because I know some of you guys love this, so mechanically I am using a possum folk race that was created by a person who I'm plugging right now. So he is at Dax Ayrton, DAXAYRTON, on Reddit and on Twitter. I reached out to him and said, hey, can I use your race for this super cool thing? Kind of gave him the idea of who Billy is. And he was like, yeah, that's totally rad. Possums, generally the biggest things that are super fun for him, he does have a tail that he can use to pick things up. He cannot use it to wield a weapon, but he does use it as a seatbelt. Sintra put a loop on the shoulder of her armor, and Billy will wrap his tail around that loop as like a seatbelt so that when Sintra starts running, he doesn't fall off. And so it's been really
Tactical
fun.
assault possum.
Yeah, and he can just launch himself from her shoulder so that he's already 7 feet in the air and he's just coming down on you with a sword. He's super rad. And as a player, I'm really looking forward to not having to worry about what spells I have stocked. I have sword. I slash. So I'm pretty. It's been really great to world build with Ash and kind of reach out and kind of figure out kind of what role possums would play in the world. So
we'll come to Connor in just a moment, but let's go ahead and go to Sintra, since that's who we're talking about right now. Ash,
I have a really important question.
Okay.
Is your race possum in your class as possum?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm a fighter.
Okay. I assume, but I just want I get to hear it.
And I've never played a fighter before. I've played a barbarian before, and then everything else has been spellcasters. But this is my first true, just plain and
5e,
simple.
everything's a spellcaster.
and
Plain and
that way
simple
also
fighter.
because that way he doesn't have to worry about spells or anything like that. He just has his sword and he's ready to go
He's
fight.
ready to go.
Yeah.
He's got his little sword. Thank you, Johnny.
Right on.
Yeah. So Ash, tell us about Sintra.
Sintra. I love her so much.
My best friend.
Yes, Billy is my bestie. So Sintra is a mighty Gnoll paladin. She is a paladin of the Bone Mother, the goddess, the grandmother Gnoll, as they call her, from which all Gnolls spring. So she is the daughter of Clan Redmaw, who you all did meet when we went to Shada during Campaign 1. So she was the young female Gnoll being betrothed during that fateful ceremony. And this is just a little bit in the future, around about 5 years in the future after the end of Campaign 1.
Right.
So she's grown up a little bit, but she kind of has that problem where she is a very privileged child, being, the daughter of the matron. She's in line basically next for the throne. So she's kind of a privileged child, a little bit of a brat. And so her mother has decided, Cintra, it is time for you to go off on a mission. And, for the love of the Bone Mother, you need to learn how the world works so that way you can become a more effective leader. And so Cintra is kind of being sent off into the wilds and bringing along, Billy.
Billy wouldn't have let you leave him behind. He would have scurried after you anyway. He must protect you. He is your tiny bodyguard.
You are my best friend and my most ardent bodyguard and defender. I wouldn't even imagine leaving
There are
you behind,
some
Billy.
excellent mechanics that I am excited to use for Billy, literally just throwing himself in front of this very large, very capable Gnoll that could definitely fight her own battles, but Billy will fight you first.
Yes. and it's one of those things, I think, again, because we were kind of talking about it, and we realized that Cintra herself is going to be the tallest character in the party. Because as a Gnoll, she stands at a whopping, when she pulls up to her full height, she's a whopping 7 feet tall. Usually she's actually a little kind of hunched over, just because that's the way that Gnolls tend to stand. So she looks like 6'5" when you first see her, but then she draws the shoulders back, brings the head up high, takes on the full glory of her breeding, and she huge.
Yeah, Billy is barely mid-calf if they stand side by side.
Yeah, you come up to her ankle.
This is why I just ride your shoulder. I have little legs!
Again. So,
I like playing small races. Kiri is small. She likes small guys.
yeah. So, we are going, again, this is 5 years in the future from Campaign 1, but we do have one other tie-in to Campaign 1 in the persona played by Connor. Connor, who are you playing?
I am playing Jessica, and she is a Yodi who is, that species is created by Ash. These coyote folk that are more coyote than they are human, although they have ways that they can transform into a more humanoid look. But you actually met her at Aldonza's camp when she was younger. She was one of the pups that was being held captive, so that way the rest of the Yodis would kind of fall in line and capture humans to work for Aldonza. And she is also actually the daughter of the clan leader. But in a interesting contrast to Cintra is that Yodis, once they mature and they're able to, they don't really take over the pack more as they go out to go find their own pack. And so she's just traveling out to the Ironwoods to go figure that out. And she is a ranger, and then eventually in the storyline, she will be a swarm keeper ranger, and her swarms are tumbleweeds.
That's fantastic.
So 3 fighter classes there with a paladin, a ranger, and a fighter.
But we had so many magic users last season 1. We all wanted a break. It takes so much brain to be magic user.
But our party is not going to be short of magic users because we do have a wizard in our group. Johnny, who are you playing?
That's me, Johnny.
Why, you sound like you're from Brooklyn.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from. I'm playing Twitch Grimfoot, a rat folk necromancer. The rat folk is created in-house with I started off with Zerf Neblin and some modifications here and there. So we just threw in a bit, splash of Goblin class ability. that I won't go into detail here. I'll let the rest of the cast and such know, but it's a secret for everyone else until then. Yeah, so he's a necromancer. He's a terrified coward who's going to rule the world one day under the guise of evil with his undead army when he becomes the mightiest, most all-powerful lich this world has ever seen.
Somebody keep this rat away from Fortunato. He learned too much.
What if? Never mind.
Where is?
But he has no idea how he's going to do it.
That's right.
He has he's not really great at necromancy. He's doesn't really know how to become a lich. He's taken the wrong steps to find out how. He could go ask one, but do you do that? You know?
He doesn't want to seem uncool. He doesn't want to seem like he doesn't
that's
know.
right.
Because if someone came up to me and said, "How do I become a lich?" I would squash them.
So it
no.
really part 1, learn necromancy. Part 2, question mark. Part 3,
three,
become a lich.
Profit, yes.
So where are you from? Where is Twitch from?
So he's from the city. Any city, pick it. We'll go Venturas because
city.
it's the
I think
biggest.
Venturas works
Yeah.
really well.
So yeah, he is from Venturas, and honestly, everyone has seen him before. You just didn't notice or care. Yeah. Meanwhile,
You mean Gideon Block when he put money in the Temple of Dog could have walked right by him, didn't even pay attention.
Oh,
That's right.
I'm pretty
He's
sure.
like,
Yeah, he was on the somewhere. I probably had to search for him. He was probably doing some petty little crime.
you see how no one ever looks
Gideon
me in
got a
the
job
eye?
to go stop this guy.
You see how no one ever looks me in the eye? It's not respect. It's fear.
It's because you're short.
It's because they don't notice him. It's just because they don't notice him. Yeah. So he's got. He's going. He knows he needs 5 victims to perform whatever ritual he concocts to become a lich. So when he hears the call and he does the math, he's like, "Hey, there's 5 dupes right here that I can easily manipulate into doing my bidding. And then the world is mine."
There we go.
So the whole campaign is just you trying to get them to do your little ritual, and they're just like,
Yeah,
I'll
he's
maybe
gonna-
later.
he's
Maybe,
gonna, like-
maybe he accidentally becomes a necromancer with a heart of gold.
I just imagine Twitch saying, "Okay, I need you to read this for me, but I need you to hold this leaf when you do it."
Can you lay down? Make sure you're facing north when you lay down.
So if Twitch
and
ever tells
read
you to do
this.
something, don't do it.
Right.
Don't do it.
Right. Or do it, because it doesn't.
It's not
gonna
gonna
matter
work
anyway.
because he's reading.
Nobody tell him he's not a necromancer.
The
He's
ultimate
so
plan
cute.
is that's what he wants you to think, is that it's not going to work.
So
Dun, dun,
we
dun.
have 4 of the characters are actually from the world of Rutoya, but 2 of our characters are not actually from Rutoya. They're from the Feywild, and one of them is Brooke's character.
Yes, I am going to get to play Zionsi.
We told you to say it different every time.
Beyonce.
Zionsi. And there's a running joke behind the scenes because I can never get it right. I always move the N around in different places.
You made the name.
I know. Anyway, Zionsi, who is a spiderkin, as we have mentioned before in some round tables, the original idea start popping around, and so I broke the rules a little bit. It's a furry spider.
Yes.
It's a furry spider, but not a furry,
Not
as
an
in a
actual
tail.
furry.
So, spiderkin, very similar to like Yodi and rat folk, and it's a humanoid, shape changing aspect. Zionsi has 2 forms. One is a giant, as in like 4 foot long, 3 foot wide, 2 feet off the ground spider.
Aragog.
Yes, like jumping, colorful, brightly colored, colorful jumping spider. If you've seen any of those, like on the National Geographic or whatever.
Or on YouTube as the little spider who sings songs and talks.
No, I love that.
That's yes.
Lucas.
Lucas. Yes, exactly. And then a hybrid form, which even the mini creeps Connor out.
It's so
It's
creepy.
so I don't like looking at it either.
I'm so glad you pulled that because that was perfect.
And so, basically, kind of a human spider blend face. Only has 2 arms and 2 legs. But Zionsi is a rogue, and doesn't quite know all the customs of things here in Ratoya, and maybe there'll be some social faux pas that might happen this way or that way, and we'll just see. Luckily, Ziansi has a very worldly, very well-known companion that actually the companion got Ziansi kicked out of the Feywild, and we're here in this place in the woods.
Yes, I'm terribly sorry about that. I didn't know that was going to happen, but that's okay. I am actually playing Blackjack, and Blackjack is a jackalope folk. And what happened a little while ago when
Jackalope
they came,
spit a jackalope folk.
Jackalope folk. Well, when they came out with the Harengon recently, Wizards of the Coast came, I immediately jumped on that and I said, "What have you stuck horns on it?"
They're antlers,
It's literally
Michael.
all you have to do.
Yeah, and that is
Put a
all,
pair of horns
all
on
I
it
did.
and you got a jackalope.
So basically, the mechanics are for Blackjack a Harengon, except for all I do is put horns on him, and he is a jackalope folk. He is a warlock with a pact with Sneaky Coyote, which is something that was created by Ash and tried ever so shortly by Johnny.
You mean we're still not going to get rid of this god? He's still going to be hanging around?
In fact, actually, Sneaky Coyotes, we're not going to talk about too much, but Sneaky Coyote is the one that got us kicked out of the Feywild.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I remember.
So, he's I wanted to try a warlock. I wanted to try something a little bit different than a paladin for one, and barbarian. I wanted to stay off the front lines. It's like, let somebody else do that for a little while.
I will do it.
Yes. I wanted to be maybe back a little bit more, doing a little bit more buffing and debuffing, because I would much rather, maybe my character can actually survive this campaign. Also, again, a chance to show Johnny how to do a warlock of Sneaky Coyote.
Don't make me burn
I
you.
hope you
with
show me how to do a warlock as well as I showed you how to do a paladin.
So those are the characters, and I just realized that we don't actually have a healer in our group, so we're all going to be looking at Sintra. That's why we're going to be looking
Hey,
at lots of Sintra.
It's okay, I got your back.
That's it.
Is there a heal of the brain?
Ranger.
No, but give me a few minutes.
You have cure wounds
We got
too.
half casters.
Yeah, that's right.
There you go.
We've got 2 semi-healers.
Okay,
We've got a
what
ranger
school
and
is the heal spell from?
Necromancy.
Necromancy, yeah.
Got you covered.
You're
Yeah,
the way healer.
Just if you die,
We're just going to have
the
to
rat's
hope
gonna
for
take
that
care
heart
of
of
us.
gold. We're going to have to really hope for it.
Is there a doctor in the house? Twitch
You
says
can't.
no, but if you
this
give me
is
a
what
few
it
minutes.
is. Twitch says you can't die outside of my ritual. You must live until I can finish.
This is not part of the plan.
I don't have enough ice to keep you.
So we're calling this Tales from the Ironwood. That's Tales, Tails. Even though one of us does not actually have a tail. But it's Tales from the Ironwood. So, Aiden, walk us through what we can expect in Tales from the Ironwood.
So, like we said before, 5 years after Campaign 1, and basically a caravan will be leaving Venturis, trying to escape a lot of the conflicts that have been happening, which we won't get into detail about, but the conflicts that have been happening, and is basically kind of like a Oregon Trail trying to head, into the Oregon, Washington area known as the Ironwoods,
Oh no!
where
You got dysentery.
Died of dysentery.
and deals with this caravan arriving there, and of course trying to escape conflict from the east, only to find themselves in even more conflict, which is where our characters come in to help out with that.
You just thought it would be better here.
Yeah.
It's still going to be dangerous. You're going out
That's
into
it.
unknown territory.
You left the capitalist dwarves and ran into the imperialist remnants of the empire. Ooh, buddy.
And,
I mean, in the Ironwoods, you'll have to put up with a bunch of fae, maybe some goblins,
Yeah.
all that sort of fun stuff.
what can we expect in the first series of episodes?
Well, I will be running, and basically we will get introduced to the characters as some of the characters will be helping the caravan, while others will be sent by the gnolls to basically make peace with this caravan that's heading towards the Ironwoods, only to find out that there's some other people that should not be in the Ironwoods that you must deal with.
There you go.
And then after I am done, Connor will take over,
Rotating DMs.
rotating DMs.
Yeah, we're going to rotate DMs. Connor, is there anything you want to say about your series of...
Goblins. Lots and lots of goblins. Some goblins you might have met before, some that are entirely
no.
no!
Wait, like a family group of goblins?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Oh no, I knew we should.
I know.
Oh no, Mon, Pa, Snaggletooth. Oh no.
The return of the Hungry Bunch.
Oh
Yes.
no.
And after Connor will be Kiri.
Kiri, anything you want to say about yours?
We're just gonna go on a little adventure.
There you go.
After Kiri will be Michael.
Yeah, and all I can say is what I'm excited about is this. It's a favorite trope in some sci-fi, but has never been done on D&D before. So
Exciting.
Ah.
So it's robots.
Actually,
Constructs,
Barrier Peaks,
constructs
that's been
everywhere.
done before.
Expedition to Barrier Peaks, robots have been done. Robots
After
Curses.
Michael will be Johnny.
Ghosts.
How do we
Whether
say
they're whether they're friendly or not is up to you.
Ghosts.
Then after Johnny will be Brooke.
Which Aiden and I are keeping things kind of tight because the thing I know dives right back into the climactic moment. So I will be building off of what you guys bring in. I'm pretty sure we'll have a significant tie-in to something from Tales of the Caliban, but God, do I just have to keep so much under wraps?
Yeah.
Because you pick back up.
Yeah. And then I pick back up after Brooke, whatever we both decide to do, because first off, we have to get through everyone else to figure out what exactly we are doing, because to combine everything, we have to get through everyone else first.
Right.
So you've got an arc, but you don't exactly know the pathway yet,
Yes.
right?
I know where we begin. I know where we're kind of heading. I have a general concept, but I do not know how it is going to end.
And
that's the beauty of D&D. We figure it out as we go along.
At some point in time, Aiden is going to give each of us, this is the seed I need you to drop. Here is your seed. None of us will know what that seed will
means,
do.
yeah.
I just need you to drop the seed of this thing.
I like how our brains already synced a little bit because, Aiden has gone and said, I think, to each one of us, hey, is there a particular thing you really like? A style, a mechanic, a monster, blah, blah, blah. And I said, I'd really like to explore topic X. And he just smiled really big and said, oh, that would fit really, really well with big bad evil guy number one.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh.
Yeah, my big bad that I have he said, can you do it this? And I'm like, sure. So, we're building, Aiden is going to be our showrunner for this campaign.
He knows what all of us are planning on doing, at least in the vaguest sense, where we have said, this is my idea for this thing. And I said something about Aiden. He didn't laugh at me when I told him mine. Remember this conversation when we get to my episodes.
Now, understand that we all, the neat thing, and I want our audience to understand, is that we are not new DMs. Every one of us, well, no, you've had your we've done the holiday
You've done
specials.
the holiday specials.
I am still baby.
Connor has been doing Adventurers League games. Johnny and Brooke and I go way back for being Dungeon Masters. So
this is why Connor and I are going first when we're in
it's
like
the
tier
lower-
one.
It's tier one stuff. So, and the idea is that we should level up every episode or every arc.
Every DM.
Yeah, every DM will now understand. As we would try to go into 4 episode arcs, it's not always going to work that way. It might not work that way if Kiri's goes 5 episodes.
It actually might.
Or 5 or 6 episodes. That's fine. So don't expect necessarily to be exactly every 4, just because we don't. You never know if there's going to be a lot of role play or if battle takes a little bit longer. There's a lot of things that can
Sometimes
go on.
you just can't drag players to where they need to go. You just have to give them the path. Do some big shiny arrows saying "Go here" and hope for the
I
best.
say, wait, what do you mean? I shouldn't just drop a fireball? And
I was to say, I mean, this is all of your chance to get revenge on Ash because Ash is the only person who doesn't know anything about what is going on.
That's
So
right.
what
I
you're
have
saying is,
absolutely no knowledge of nothing.
so what you're
But
saying
the
is,
other side of that is we don't need Ash to retaliate in season 2.
That's true.
That is true.
Remember,
Hey, that's
I will be
that's,
taking the DM chair back.
that is your problem. not mine. Unless I get brought in as a guest or two. No, that's no.
Now I'll find my ways to get revenge on you, Aiden.
Yeah.
I see a great opportunity for Ash's character to die 5 times.
Oh my gosh! It's Cintra's Groundhog Day.
Billy would never.
At the end of each of your stuff, I die, and then at the beginning of the next one, it's the same morning, and I just have to keep doing it again until I figure out the correct sequence of events.
Oh, just every time Twitch will bring you back to life.
You wake up to a little rat folk over your face going, well, good morning.
So that is what we're expecting. It's probably going to take us about 6 months to do that, and we hope that you will enjoy being with us. We've been creating these characters now for almost a year and formulating these. Unlike Campaign 1, where we all had our own separate different characters, some of us had brought them into audition, some of us were just NPCs who got thrust into being
I'm a real bully.
And so this was the first one where we really got to create these characters together, knowing that we wanted to formulate a true band of adventurers. So we're really excited to bring this to you.
So will this be unscripted like Campaign 1 and Tales from the Caladan
No,
Frontier was?
I'm still typing up the script. Don't
Okay.
bother me about that.
The script is being written. No.
This will be completely improv, just like always, and we don't know where we're going. Even the ones we're going to be DMing, we don't know where the characters will go. The beauty of this is that we are building on Ratoya still, that even just in our character creations, we have been able to build more and more of these characters, more and more of Ratoya. So it's been very exciting.
Possums in Shada didn't exist
That's
until
right.
Billy existed.
And
So
I just found out right now about the idea that gnolls have like
Grooming
these,
possums.
Yeah, like
That's
these
the one
prestige.
bad thing about being a furry is the fleas.
But listen, water is a luxury in the desert. You can't just be taking baths all the time. So you have a grooming possum if you're lucky enough to get one.
And it was just one of those things that, like, you know, it's that whole, you know, Kiri comes up with a character concept of she wants to play a possum. And then the question becomes, okay, so then how do we make that work? Like, how do we... Because, like, I think we talked, like, we went back and forth a couple times on, like, different ideas about the backstory and, like, how did they meet? And then I just kind of came out with this idea of, like, you know what would be really interesting? Just a little interesting bit of world building. It's you know, like the cranes that you see, you know, picking bugs off of, you know,
The
water
rhinos,
buffalo
yeah.
and rhinos and stuff. So it's just like, yeah, and just there's just a certain upper class gnolls, you know, you'll just see them with like a possum riding around on their shoulder, and that's just their personal grooming possum. And Cintra just thought it would be funny to teach her how to fight.
Yeah.
But Billy's awakened, right?
Well, so Billy fell off of his mom as a baby because you know possums carry their babies on their backs, and he had teeny weeny legs and a teeny weeny voice, and he couldn't catch up to his mom, and so he may or may not have a deep seated fear of being left behind. But
No, okay, marking that down.
so then he, like, I don't know the exact details, but Cintra found him around that same time. I like to imagine that Cintra was the one that found him. He was trying, essentially, like, living on the streets. And Cintra was like, oh, how cute. I'm going to scoop him and take him home. And that's why the other possums are mean to him, and because I needed a reason for him to not have social bonds with other possums, because he's a wild boy. He's not a fancy possum, but he is. The idea we're operating under is that he is an awakened possum, which is also why he's not very smart, because intelligence is his low stat. And so he has his little book of Billy's books of words and stuff, wherein he draws little pictures, and then he writes the Gnoll word and he writes the common word, because his common is not very great, because Gnoll was the language he learned, and learning 2 languages takes a lot of brain power. So
Gotcha.
He's my adorable little buddy, and I've taught him many things.
A tiny possum and a tiny breastplate with the symbol of Redmaw on it, and he believes that he is Cintra's bodyguard, tasked with keeping her safe on this adventure.
So we're really excited to bring these to you. We're not sure. We haven't recorded the very first episode yet. That will still be a little while. So we are hoping that it's still the same, where we'll have outtakes at the end. This will be a little bit more lighthearted.
Goofy.
We
Whimsical.
did a little bit more
I mean-
serious, and we're probably going to be going to more serious when we go to campaign 2. So we're again, palate cleanser, I think, is the best way to describe this. So expect it to be a little bit more fun, maybe a few more shenanigans, and
You've got a necromancer rat, and
Yes.
you have a possum in plate mail just trying to fight everybody.
Do possums have opposable thumbs?
They have little hands,
Yeah.
like raccoons.
Okay.
that's how they grab onto things.
Now, what if
Grip them.
I'm a fan of the demigod of Foley, Michael Cross? Do I still get all the sound effects and music and things?
All music and sound effects will still be provided. This will still just be like a classic radio show. I promise it will all still be the same. In fact, I've actually kind of picked, as I've been going through new music, finding new music that really fits for the Furries campaign is what we were jokingly calling it.
Let's not.
That-
Behind the scenes name.
Yeah.
So enjoy it.
special name.
Our very
We
first
found out that had
episode.
connotation.
We do know will drop next week.
At least for you guys. For us, we're like a month out.
It's going to
But
be quite a while. But next week we will have the very first episode of Tales from the Ironwoods. And from what I understand, the first part of it's possibly going to be one part of the party, and the second one's going to be the other part of the party, and then they kind of come together.
I like
so
those.
I
like
will
it when
also
it
say
happens.
keep an eye out because Connor has new artwork.
Yes.
We have
So-
the logo is going to change.
Yes, once the first episode for 1.5 drops, the website will be changing. An
New
entirely
outfit.
New outfit.
Makeover.
Gets a makeover. We'll still have a similar type of feel to it, but it'll be more in line with the new. It'll be more in line with like the new way that I'm pushing the marketing for 1.5.
Is there any way I can see the artwork first?
No.
Darn.
I mean, you can.
I mean, I know I can, but I meant
Listeners
like,
cannot.
you know.
I will drop it to Patreons when
Oh, yeah!
the Patreon episodes drop. So
Yep.
that
That
Sunday.
Sunday.
instead of that
Awesome,
Wednesday.
awesome.
become a Patreon member. You get our episodes 4 days early. You get a full version of our roundtables. The roundtables will continue. And you also get bonus content and access to our Discord server. And we have actually been talking about 1.5 in our Discord server.
Yes,
so
yes.
if you are a fan of Red Dirt D&D and want to follow us on the Discord server, become a Patreon member, and you can get a little bit more behind the scenes as well on Campaign 1.5.
And one of those tiers, people can call in and ask questions, right?
That's right.
Awesome.
And we'll have that too. So, boy, we're going to see you guys next week, and we are excited to bring
So
Campaign
exciting.
1.5 to you guys because it's going to be fantastic. Red Dirt D&D is alive and well, and it's going to keep on going
We are
well into
Legion.
the future.
You are never getting rid of us.
That's right.
So many wonderful
You're
possibilities.
stuck with us.
So-
New voices, new DMs. It's awesome.
New characters. It's going to be
New
great.
characters, yeah. New voices.
And so we will
And a
see
whole
you.
new part of the frontier to explore.
I'm so excited for trees. You have no idea.
And cooler weather. Yeah.
Shade.
Shade.
Wonderful shade.
I would even love to see some snow. I could get behind some snow.
The only thing wrong with trees is that things hide behind them.
That's fine.
That's okay. So in the meantime, we will see you guys next week. I'm Michael Cross.
I'm Carrie Hester.
Connor Schnold.
Ash King.
Brooke Bullock.
Johnny Payne.
And Aiden Cross.
We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.